Smithereens by Joji. It is 9 songs, 24 minutes long, 23 seconds long, and somehow 2 discs long. This
Yeah, the disc part confused me, but anyways.
I'm down with it. I mean, especially because there's a lot of cohesion between the disc 1 and disc 2 and a lot of this
Fair
record
play.
in general. But Joji has been a fairly prominent artist here there. I think we at least talked about or mentioned Nectar when it came out in 2020 because
Yeah,
I definitely remember it. I definitely remember the album cover. But he is
he
a
really blew up.
he's a Japanese neo-pop, as we term R&B, because we think R&B is a racist phrase that just means black people music historically, but more often not, especially in modern eras, especially as exemplified by artists like Joji, just shows a type of pop music that's a little bit slower, a little bit deeper, a little bit more moody, but definitely exemplifies what's popular in music. I mean, Joji's numbers are ridiculous if you care about those kinds of things, but we care about the art here, and Joji's art is pretty good. Although, I really dislike the first song. I think it's one of the worst ways you could possibly start off an album like this.
I was gonna say that I really like this record a lot, except for "Glimpse of Us." I like the track, but just the beginning, it's such a bad placement. It sets you off the wrong foot to where it can leave a bad taste in your mouth if you're not careful. So I think that's one thing that really needs to be fixed with this. Put this somewhere, but maybe Die For You is the first track, or The Day Before the Day Is Over is the first track, and we'll really get into it. But with Glimpse of Us, it doesn't leave a good taste in your mouth, and you're like, all right, it leaves you guessing of figuring out what the hell else you're gonna get into. But overall, as like a neo pop project and as a pop project in general, it's fantastic. I think Joji is one of those where, as Dan was kind of alluding to before, he has his like foot on the gas. He's always really ahead of trying to get to what's popular, what's a good sound to go into, and he nails it with Smithereens, where like Die For You, Before the Day Is Over, like those are two tracks that are that more dark style of pop, but it's bringing in a lot of hints of neo pop and a lot of different hints of like some electronic music that we've heard and everything, and it's things that I enjoy a lot, and I think that has a really broad view for it. It can reach a pretty broad audience with it. So, and then the second part I like a lot, and I guess the whole disc 1 disc 2 thing makes sense in that regard. I just, for so short, it's kind of awkward. I don't know if I would actually, for that part, would rather have an interlude or something rather than like a disc 1 disc 2, like a specific spacing. But
I can already see another argument queuing up for the Audioface Awards this year, which folks can check out on the YouTube channel, especially at youtube.com/audiofacepod, because that's going to be pretty much all of our December and January, or, a substantial part of it. More exciting announcements of that to come. But this is another one of those cases, much like Vince Staples' self-titled record of last year, where this is way less than what was well within drop territory, our subcategory where it's shorter than an album, but still like within a project. But it's like very, very full and has a lot of depth in it, and I think perfectly encapsulates what an album would feel like. It feels more complete than a lot of longer projects we've reviewed earlier this year, or even earlier this week. See also Drake. But yeah, I think this is a really, really solid album. And to get to the part where it gets really interesting is when you transition from Dissolve to Night Rider, which is this really deep, smooth, sultry track. It reminds me a lot of Steve Lacy's record earlier this year. It's just really good. Record. Yeah, I really love Night Rider.
Yeah, and it's like exactly like tracks like that give me hope for pop music.
I mean, like neo pop as well, yeah. And like it's weird because it almost feels like disc 2 is meant to be a throwaway. Like Blah 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 is also says it's a demo, and that's like song 2 on disc 2. And then you have Yukon, which has like interlude in between, and then freestyle, like 1 a.m. freestyle, I mean. But all these songs sound like great and perfectly fine, if not, a little bit short because you're fitting it into the 24-minute motif. But there's definitely an artsy side to disc 1. I feel like those songs, definitely feel like they're a little more complete, that had a little bit more, they've had many more passes at them to really like rub out the edges of it. Please disregard my phraseology there. But
please.
Like I like the continue to disregard my phraseology here. I like the rawness. I like the power and the energy of disc 2. I feel like those songs have a lot of energy to them. I really appreciate what you get from this entire project at all. Like Joji at the top of his game, and I don't even know if this is considered to be like an album or a drop or a full project. Feels like a full drop to me. I would definitely nominate it for an award this year.
I would say drop.
Drop of the year definitely. But this could be like this is worthy of being like one of the better trap and like neo-pop R&B releases of the year also.
Yeah, I can get on board with that. It's very good. And for an artist like Joji, who's really exploded the past 5 years, I would say, but in the past 3 years, really got on the radar of a lot of people, it's nice to see him still like continue to improve within it. So yeah, it's a very, very good project.
Arbitrary scale. We do arbitrary scales every week on Audioface because our review is our review. And if you want some actual ranking system, then screw you, go to some other place. But this week it is the price you would actually pay for a blue checkmark on elonstwitter.com, which I think lower is better. But this is like a fraction of a cent. Like this is one of those shit coins, like those absolute horrible bitcoins you'd be trading. That's like worth a fraction of a penny. This would be one of those, but here, because this is an Audioface arbitrary scale, less is more, because I'm not paying shit for fucking Twitter, Elon, whatever the fuck. I'm not giving Elon Musk any money. That's why I've made a lot of fairly complicated decisions in my life. So that's where I stand there. Sean.
This is one of those NFTs that goes in the negative, so you're owed money.
Ooh! Coinbase, we're looking at you. Houston, hello. All right.